When I started my career about 15 years ago in the space of digital forensics and investigations, it was all about just collecting hard drives, investigating systems, and taking a look at the chatter that's going on those systems. And we were really focusing on just those computer systems, those network devices, and the log data that's attributed to all of those things, and performing the investigation. And forensics and investigations as it relates to cybersecurity and incident response has evolved beyond that. The evidence that we look for in investigations are not just located within the systems themselves. We look at other areas for purposes of determining what level of risk might exist within an organization. Is the lack of forensic evidence enough to say that something didn't happen? In the case of ransomware attacks happen all the time. However, there is a question of access. The application of ransomware itself does exactly that. It accesses your files and encrypts them. Exfiltration by itself can be very difficult to prove. So based upon our analysis of things like the cyber kill chain, or in that case, the MO of the adversary, we're evaluating all of those items, and we also can take that and then correlate it against threat intelligence. And threat intelligence is extremely valuable because that will allow us to determine what sort of adversary that we're dealing with. And a lot of this information has been researched and has been recorded so that we can actually use that for purposes of assisting companies to not only identify how they got in and what did they touch, but what they were actually after. What sort of organized crime syndicate do they belong to? As an example, we had a case recently where there was a ransomware attack that had taken place. We were hired to do a full forensic investigation of all systems that were involved within this attack. We ended up determining exactly how they got in. We ended up identifying all of the lateral movement that had taken place. However, one area that we did not identify was whether or not any data had been exfiltrated. So we took a look at the cyber kill chain. We took a look at the tool sets that were being leveraged by the adversary in this case. And we started doing some research, and we started correlating this data against threat intelligence. We ended up determining exactly what organized crime syndicate was behind this type of an attack, the types of tool sets that they use, and the IP addresses that were related to this organization at that given point in time. Their primary means of existence was to gain money through ransomware attacks. They had zero interest in client data. They were more interested in collecting the funds through the ransom attacks. I think this is a great example of how we use threat intelligence for purposes of our own forensic investigations.